Hello everyone. Welcome back with another packet tracer lab. In this we are going to implement uh, the topology 2.3.25, and it's related to the implement basic connectivity. So we have this topology, two switches and two computers, and in this topology this one is the tracing table that we have to follow, and this network is consist of three parts. We will cover these three parts step by step. So if we start with the step 1, so this step 1 is to perform the basic configuration on the switch S1 and S2. Okay, so the step 1 is to configure the S1 with the host name, this one, and if we see, this one is our packet tracer activity, and let me set up the new user. Okay, so here we need to complete 88 points. Okay, so part 1, step number 1, configure S1 with the host name. So we will go into the CLI tab and we will issue the correct command to configure the host name on the switch as S1. Okay, so go to the switch S1, go to the CLI, hit enter, enable configure terminal, and here we need to issue the command hostname S1. Okay, now the switch name is changed from default switch to S1. Okay, now next step, configure the console and privilege exit mode passwords. Okay, for the console we need to use Cisco password, and for the enable password we need to use class. So this privilege mode we have two options. We can go with the enable password or enable secrets. So the secret one is the more secure, so we will go with the secret. Okay, now go to the switch. We are already in the configuration mode. Here we can type the line console 0 to set up the console password, then the password, and it's Cisco, this password. And after issue the password command, we also need to mention the login command to work this password and exit. Now this console password is set. The next one is to issue the class password. So it's enable secret class. Okay, it's completed. Now step 3 is verify the password configurations on the S1. How we can verify the both passwords? Okay, we have two options. First, we can verify the password by issue the show running command. So if we run the command, we can see the host name is set up, the secret is set up, and if we go down by pressing the space bar, we can see the console password as well. The other option, just go back by type the exit and hit the enter. Now it is asking the password. The first password is the console, so we will type the Cisco. Now type enable, and it is asking for the another password. This one is for the privilege exit mode password, which is class. Here we go. Now we are back in the switch, so we just verify both passwords. Okay, now the step 4 is to configure the message MOTD banner. So this one is the sample text. We can choose any. So go back to the switch. We are already in the configuration mode, so the command will be the banner MOTD. Then we have to choose any special character to start and end the banner. This is secure device, and the same character, this one at the end of the line. Okay, our banner is set. Step number 5 is to save the configuration file into the NVRAM. So to save the configuration file, just go back to the enable mode, and to save the configuration file we have two or three options, two or three commands. The first command is just type the copy run new configuration to the startup configuration, hit enter, and the destination file will be the same, and just type the enter again. Okay, another option, we can type the WR, the shortest version, write memory, hit enter. So this configuration will be saved into the NVRAM. And other, we can type the copy run to start. So this will also save the configuration file. So these three commands are the same. Okay, now the step number 6, repeat step 1 to 5 for the switch 2. So we have to do same steps for the switch 2 as well. Okay, now go to the switch number 2, go to the CLI. Okay, step 1, set the hostname, configure terminal, hostname. Now this time will be S2. Okay, now secure the console and privilege mode. So for the console password, line console 0, password Cisco, and login. Now exit. Now set up the class password. So enable secret class, exit. Okay, step number 3, verify the password. So we can verify by the show run command. So this console password, and if we go up, so this one is for the secret password. This one is the secret encrypted password, so we cannot see it in the configuration file. Now step number 4, set the banner. Go to the switch configuration mode, banner MOTD. This is secure device, hit enter. Okay, the step number 5 is save the configuration. So save the configuration, copy running to startup. So running configuration, the configuration are in the RAM, the current configuration and the startup configuration. That configuration will be go into the NVRAM, non-volatile RAM. So this configuration will remain the same if we restart the switch or the router. Okay, now our part number 1 is complete. If we check the switch, we just complete 14 points. Okay, now part number 2, configure the PCs. So we need to configure the IP addresses on the PCs, and we have the addressing table at the top. So for the PC1, this one is the IP, this one is the subnet mask. So just close the switch, go to the PC1. Now go to the desktop and IP configuration. Here just make sure this static point is select, and the IP will be 192.168.1.1. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Yeah, just click. Now we can close this. Now for the PC2, the IP is 2. Go to the PC2, desktop, IP configuration, IPv4 address 192.168.1.2, and subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. We can close this. Okay, now we just complete 48 points. Go down. Okay, we configure both PCs with IP addresses. Okay, now test the connectivity to the switch. Okay, so it is asking go to the PC1 and go to the command prompt and ping the IP address of the switch S1 192.168.1.153. Let's try this. Go to the PC, go to the desktop, command prompt and ping the IP 192.168.1.253. Okay, we cannot ping the IP because we did not set up this IP on the switch now. Okay, to set up the IP address, so this one is a part number 3 to configure the switch management interface. In this part we will set the IP addresses on the switch S1 and S2. Okay, now the question is were you successful, why or why not? We were not successful because the IP was not set up on the switch. Okay, the part number 3, configure the switches management interface. Configure the switch S1 and S2 with IP addresses, and the IP addresses are in this table, this one. Okay, now if we go back on the part number 3, this one. So the first step for the part number 3 is configure the S1 with the IP address. So this IP address we will configure on the VLAN. So interface VLAN 1, the default VLAN on the switch, and we will issue this IP command and we will issue the no shut to enable the interface. Now if we go to the addressing table, so the switch S1 IP address is 253 and switch S2 the IP address is 254. Now if I go to the switch S1, we will go into the configuration mode, interface VLAN 1, IP address it's 192.168.1.253 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and after issue the IP address we need to enable this interface by issue the command no shutdown. Okay, now this interface is up and we will save the configuration. Now we just covered 68 points. Now we are going to set up the IP address for the switch S2, that is 254. So click on the switch S2, go to the CLI, configuration mode, interface, VLAN 1, IP address 192.168.254 and subnet mask, and at the end we will issue the no shutdown command to enable this interface, and that's all. We save the configuration. You can use the WR command to write the memory, or you can use the complete command copy running to startup config. Okay, now with this step we just complete this activity and we just covered the 88 points, and if we click on the check results and it's congratulations and assessment items, all items are completed.